Thank you very much. I'd like to call the meeting to order this morning and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Inuit, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Brent McIntyre, and I'll be chairing the hearing this morning. With me, that's in the boardroom today, is Kent Seelian, and zooming in is Bill Moretsky. Our assessor for today's hearing is Marina Tenawara, and our administrative personnel is Sally Caulfield. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's orders. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the Board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 5, 7 through 9, and 12 on our docket today. Ms. Caulfield, please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony. Thank you very much.
Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Marina Gantika Devan.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Ayrton Neufeld.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Rather than me ask this question on every property, I'm going to ask Marina, are there any preliminary issues on any of these properties?
No.
And Ayrton?
Nope.
Thank you very much. The first property on the docket is 119 Scurfield Boulevard, and Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4468. Property address 119 Scurfield Boulevard. Business roll number 29974. Property. This is the car wash, the Wave car wash. Original valuation went out using $10.56 as the base ARV per square feet. Final ARV was 69,600. Based on the comparables, today I'm making a recommendation to reduce the value ARV to 63,000 based on $9 per square feet per square feet rental rate. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Ayrton, are you aware of the recommendation?
We are, and we're in agreement with it.
Thank you very much. Bill, any questions?
No, I do not have any questions. Thank you.
And Kent?
No question, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
And I have no questions. So that brings us to the second property on the docket, which is just down the street, 135 Scurfield. And Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4742. And address 135 Scurfield Boulevard, Business Road, 1546. This is a Calibria Market Inc. Original ARV was set to $64,920 using $18.50 per square feet rental rate. It was a newer lease. Reported rent is $18. As per realty, I'm using $18 per square feet rental rate to calculate final ARV of $63,360. My recommendation to reduce final ARV to $63,360. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Ayrton, any questions, comments?
No, thank you. No, thank you. We're in agreement with that.
Okay. And Kent, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And Bill, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
And I have no questions. So that brings us to 1512 Regent Avenue West. And Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4680. Address 1512 Regent Avenue West, Business Road 50589. Business name Smithy's Restaurant Region. This restaurant ARV calculated using $22.61 model driven market rent calculate the annual rental value. Original annual rental value is $180,060. This restaurant has a newer lease started in 2020, which is they are paying $22 per square feet, but we use model driven rental rate of $22.61. Both rates are within the market level. Then I did not adjust the rental rate here because that's how we value the realty roll number. My rent comparables are down there. The first two rent comparables are newer leases. Second one is a very new lease, 2020. That also Smithy's. First one is a Smithy's. Second one also Smithy's. Third one is a Joyce Restaurant, and fourth one is the PF Chang's and Original Joyce and Montana's. Those are the restaurant I use as rent comparables. You can see all of the rent leases signed in newer leases, except the first one. That's an older lease for 15 years using $29 per square feet for Smithy's. Based on those rent comparables, I'm asking to confirm the final annual rental value as it is. Final rental value will be $180,060. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Ayrton, any questions?
No, thanks. Just requesting it be confirmed.
Okay. Kent, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And Bill?
No questions, Mr. Chair, thank you.
I just have one question, Marina.
Thank you.
On the premise ID 8851, on the top line, you're showing 7172 square feet.
Okay.
And on the subject lease information, and it's a minor discrepancy, 7193 square feet.
Yes. Yeah, it's very close. I think they were reported higher square footage, but we did not adjust the higher square footage when we do, because I don't know the 100% reason, but it's a 50 square feet type, very small adjustments. Sometimes we don't do because they reported one area, and sometimes the plans has a different area. those kind of thing is a common reason I'm telling, but I don't know why it's different here.
Okay, that's fine. It's very small discrepancy.
Yeah,
Okay, and that concludes it, property. So the next one on the docket is 150 Meadowwood Drive, again, another Smitty's Restaurant. And Marina, you can make your presentation.
thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4679, address 150 Meadowwood Drive, business road 50594, business name Smithy's Restaurant. We use $24.72 to calculate final annual rental value here, plus occupancy cost. Reported rent is $29. $24.72 is the model driven market rents. That's the rental rate we use to do the realty assessment. My rent comparables are exact same thing I presented before. The exact rent comparables. Based on those information, I'm asking to confirm final annual rental value as with you. Final rental value is $175,620. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Aaron, any questions?
No, thank you. Just
Are you
requesting-
making?
Yeah, requesting confirmation. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So you're requesting confirmation?
Correct. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next property in the docket is 1625 Kenniston Boulevard, and there is a recommendation on this. So Marina, you can proceed.
It is not with Hamilton.
Yeah, that's all done for me then. So thank you.
Yeah, it's Hamilton is finished. The other one is different applicant.
What was that? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's okay.
Collier's is finished now.
Oh, right.
Thank you, New.
Thanks, everyone. Okay.
Thanks,
take care.
Ayrton.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Thanks.
day.
Hey, Mr. Chair, if there was any contact from the other applicant, if it had gone to the Board of Revision email, we don't currently have access to that. Is it all right if we take a recess for a moment so I can see if I can get a hold of them?
Yeah, we can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you need.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll reconvene the hearing this morning. And Sally, can you swear in or affirm the agent's testimony?
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
My name is Jared Story.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next property on the docket today is 1625 Kenniston Boulevard. And Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. File number 22-4602, address 1625 Kenniston Boulevard, business road 43669, business name Safeway, owner Sobeys West Inc. Originally, we used $16.56 market model rental rates to calculate final rental value of $905,760. Today I'm making recommendation reduced to $16.50, which is reported net rents, and to calculate the annual rental value, my recommendation is $902,880 as the annual rental value. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Jared, were you aware of the recommendation?
I am aware, Mr. Chair, and we are in agreement with the 1650. Ms. Tenuar and I discussed this previously. My only issue here, slight discrepancy on the leasable area. So the department has 47,521, and I'm just looking at the income and expense statement, and it is showing me 47,374. And it's not a huge difference, but when we reported this to the client, the value that we came to was 900,120, 900,120, and that's based on the actual area of 47,374. So ultimately, yes, we're good with 1650, but we would ask that it be applied to the actual area.
Thank you very much. Marina, do you have any questions?
I have a concern. I think, Gerard, I think you know about this has a mezzanine space. That's I think it's the area difference.
Oh, okay. No, I was not aware of that. It's a mezzanine
Okay.
space.
Yeah, that's, I'm not 100% sure either, but I'm okay with the 90. Can you repeat the number right now?
Yeah, it's 900,120. And I would send, I know that we don't have the BOR email up, but if you look at the INE Marina, the actual leasable area, the tenant area on the rent roll is 47,374. So that is what they're leasing. So
For the future, I will check it, but I'm okay with the 900.
perfect. Thank you.
120 as the new annual rental value. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So Marina, is that your revised recommendation?
Yes, I can use that one.
And Bill, do you have any questions? Oh, Bill, you're muted. Thank
No, I do not. Thank you.
you. And Kent, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And I have no questions. So the next property on the docket is 1539 Kenniston Boulevard, Unit L3. And Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4430. Address L3 1539 Kenston Boulevard. Business roll 18577. Business name Warehouse 1, the Jean Store. This property, we use $18.59 as a per square foot rate to calculate annual rental value of 87,700. There is a lease, but no reported rents for the department. I have rent comparables is showing the closest proximity to the subject location. All of the within 1765 and 1599 Kenniston, 1609 Kenniston. All of those units are very close. Most of them are paying higher rental rates than the subject unit. Except the Town Shoe Limited, which is the very close to the subject. They are paying $17.99. $18.98 motor driven rents were used for the entire property to realty value. And I'm using the exact same model driven marker rent to calculate the annual rental value here. So based on information, I'm asking to confirm the value confirm the annual rental value as 87,000. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. And Jared, any questions?
I have a few questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Ms. Taniwara, the base ARV per square foot, that 1898, that's model derived, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the reported rent at zero, that's not because they're not reporting their rent. That's because they're not paying a base rent. They're correct.
No, actually, because we entered as a reported rent at zero. I don't know about 100%. Do they?
Well, they pay additional rent, but their base rent was adjusted. Okay, and I'll get to that in my presentation. Now, in terms of these leases that you've shown here, there's two in our development, the two at 1599, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And that Tommy Guns is much smaller, and that's, I guess,
Yes.
best described as a hair salon, right?
Yeah, it's a very smaller than the subject.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'll leave my questions there, and I'll save my comments for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, any questions?
Have any questions?
And Kent?
Do we know the year of this building? Like, do we know the year?
Unit, age of the unit, age of the bid. Honestly, you can't tell me on top of my mind, but I don't think it's a very old one. It is the outlet mall type thing, just across the road from the the Safeway and Walmart. It's across the road. There's a big box store thing. I don't know about the exact. Yeah, I can't remember. I dealt with property so many times, but I can't remember the in top of my head, because for the VA we don't provide the effective age.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
And I have no questions. So Jared, you can proceed.
Thank you, sir. Okay, and Mr. Steele, it is indeed a retail development, and the effective age is about 2000. I believe it was built between 2000 and 06. So just for clarity, yep. So here we are, 1585 Kenniston. This unit is 4,501 square feet. The overall development, once again, has 8 buildings, 3 of which are connected to one large strip, and the tenants are mostly home or fashion type stores. Our subject type is a clothing retailer, and it's in what they call the fashion node. We'll have another property in this, or another unit in this fashion node. So just point that out. This will come up again. There has been some profound impacts by the outlet mall that Ms. Tenuar mentioned, just west of the subject at Sterling Lion, resulting in elevated and chronic vacancies. So we note that the actual vacancy in this property, not this unit specifically, but in this overall development, is hovering around 20% and more for the past 4 years that we're aware of. So we would consider that long chronic vacancy at this on this basis. I did note that the owner renewed the lease effective February 1, 2020, with a 0 per square foot basic rental rate. That was before the pandemic. A subsequent 1 year renewal was agreed upon effective February 1, 2021, at $0 per square foot. So I think this just goes to show that the retail has been experiencing some extreme challenges, and this unit is no different. And the issue that we're looking at here is that, given what we know in this property, and what we know at the reference date, there would be some doubt that a tenant engaging in a new rental rate would transact at a rate reflective of some of the rents that were agreed upon pre-pandemic. So I don't have a general issue with the comps that have been supplied by the department. However, we have to recognize that at the valuation date, there were some significant headwinds for retail. So again, the model rent applied is $18.98. We think that is high given the valuation date. So we looked to the market. I've provided you 4 rental comps, 3 of which are in our development. You can see one of the neighboring CRUs is indeed at month to month at $10. One of the other units that we'll look at today was at $17.50. So all this to say that the average of the comps that I've provided here is $14.63, median of $15.25. So in order to be fair, quite frankly, we've applied $15 per foot to our CRU. Following page has my workup. again, the square footage of 4,051 square feet is not in dispute, nor are the prescribed utility costs. So when we apply a rate of $15 per square foot, we come to a total ARV of 70,893, which we then round to 70,920, and we do respectfully submit that the value for the purpose of our exercise today not exceed 70,920, and again that's based on $15 per foot. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions.
Thank you very much, Marina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, do they pay percentage rent? Or what kind of rental agreement they have except the $0 net rent?
So they're paying additional rent. So that's cam and
Additional.
tax only. Yeah, extra rent. Yeah,
Okay,
additional
even
rent
they
only.
don't pay any of the percentage rent?
Any of the, sorry?
Percentage rent or something from the revenue?
No, like a percentage rent? Is that?
Yeah.
No, it's
Then-
simply cam and tax from our record. Yeah.
They actually, but that means they occupied the location without paying any rents?
That is what we have. Yeah, we have only additional rent, so only cam and tax for these two extensions, for these two 1-year extensions.
They don't own this building, right? They don't own this. building.
No, they do not own the building. They've been tenants for some time, but no, they do not own it.
Okay, it's honestly, it's kind of very different situation because that's why I asked.
It is unique. Yeah, no doubt about that.
It's okay. The other question to me, you are in comparables.
Yeah.
I cannot identify all of those rents except the one of the unit. The second comparables, I think that's the town shoe limited.
That is correct. And the number one is the tip top, which is actually the neighboring unit.
Okay.
So that's, and excuse me for 1 second. You're quite right. The rents that we're seeing here are, I mean, the neighboring unit is at $10 month to month, and then the town shoes at 18. So knowing that, that has informed our position that we should be somewhere in that range, and that's why we've applied $15.
Okay, because do you think about the $10 is the outlier for this calculation?
Well, is it an outlier? I suppose it's somewhat low. We haven't used $10, but we also know that we know the shape of the market when it came to retail in and around the valuation date. So I think that some of these lower rents are a better indicator as to what might be expected at the valuation date, as opposed to a rent that was agreed upon, many years ago. So yes, that $10 is low, but we've used 15.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all my question.
Thank you very much. Bill, any questions?
Just to clarify, all of these comparables that you have here are in the same complex, or is number 4 index
number
4?
Index 4 is not in the same complex. Yeah, that's correct.
Not in
The first 3 are.
Okay. Are there any in the same complex that are higher rents than what you have here? You know that?
Yes, there are rents that are higher. Now there's all sorts of there's different size units, there's different uses. So typically, if we have for example, a gym or some such thing, I know there's a rent there that's lower, and the much larger anchor tenants would benefit from economies of scale. But we have considered all those factors. So yes, but to answer your question shortly, yes, there are a range of rents in this property, to be certain.
Any that are approximately the same square footage?
Well, yeah, the one actually at $10 is very similar. It's in that same bank of units, and it's very similar. I mean, it's within 40 square feet. So yeah, it's about as close as I think we're going to get for a comp that's almost exact. So. And
Okay,
that's
but there's
index
no
1, yeah.
other ones that are of similar square footage that are more rent than what you have on your list here?
In terms of my list, well, I mean, the one number 3 is, I mean, that's
Oh,
5,200 square feet.
Sorry,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
my question wasn't clear enough. Is there anything that's not on this list, not on your list, that's similar square footage and is in that same complex?
Oh, yes. And if those rents are higher, they would have been signed at a different time. So it would have been, they would have been signed before what was known, going into retail at the reference date, and certainly long before what would have been known about how the pandemic would have changed the market. So yes, there would be, but we're considering the valuation date as well in our analysis.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. No further questions, Mr. Chair?
Thank you. Kemp?
So are there any other premises that are on this zero rent where they're not paying rent?
I don't believe so. I mean, there are some adjusted rents. I mean, we have some lower rents for sure, but I don't see another extra rent only from what I can tell. I haven't gone through every single lease in great detail here, but I just looking at it quickly, I don't believe so. But again, there are, when I see the units that are generating no rent, they're of course the vacant units, and they are north of 20%, and there are a number of them. So
Is there any others that are on month to month right now?
on month to month, take a look. You know, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm just seeing that one at this stage, but I can't verify that. There's a number of rents here to have to read through the entire roll with all the notes, but I believe from what I'm seeing here, just at a quick glance, it looks like that one may be the only month to month at the reference.
Thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, and I have no questions, and that concludes that property. The next one on the docket is Unit N2 1569 Kensington, and Marina, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4431, address N2 1569 Kensington Boulevard. Business road 32979, business name Vicky and Cleo Fashion. This unit has 5,235 square feet. We use market-driven model rent of $18.64 plus occupancy cost to calculate total annual rental value of $110,640. Here, it was paying $17.50 per month reported rent. Lease started 2003. It's a 19 years and 8 month lease, longer lease, paying $17.50. My rent comparables are similar as I presented before. The best, the last rent comparable 1599 Kensington Boulevard. Not the last one, the first page, last one is the bottom one. It's a $17.99. It's the town view house, which very close proximity to the unit, and it's the very close size factor too. All of those rental rates are close proximity to this subject property, and they are paying higher rental rates. The reported rent is $17.50. We are using $18.64. Everything is within the market level of rental rates in that unit. I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value is $110,640. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Jared, any questions?
Just a few, Mr. Chair, and this is going to be very similar to the one we just heard, so I'll try and limit my questions. But the Ms. Tenuara, the base ARV that's been applied to make this assessment is modeled again, and it's not considering the what we'll call the reported rent in this instance. Is that correct?
No, entire property we use model-driven market rents here.
Right.
It is
Okay.
also model-driven market rents.
Okay, and all of your comps here are actually smaller than the subject, save for that party stuff at $14.50 a foot, correct?
Party stuff is actually almost double because and also I think the smaller, I think closest one is 4,996. It's kind of 250 square feet up and down.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
And that's
it's 18 one. The other ones are actually smaller ones. It's a
right.
slightly smaller and very small, but small units pay higher rent.
Small units pay higher rent, right?
Higher
And
rent.
that lens craft, does that have the optometrist in there as well? So it's partially medical. Is that, do you know? Just my own interest.
I can answer that question. I
Okay.
think it's the entire lease area is 4,901. I believe it's include the optometry office. So that's the part of the lens crafters.
Okay, that's fine. And that town shoe, so that's the one that's in the same complex, correct?
Town shoes and the Tommy guns. The Tommy gun is a smaller unit. Town shoes is the.
Oh, I see. Second page. Yeah. Okay.
Second, yeah.
Okay. Those are my questions, Mr. Chair. Thanks.
Thank you. Bill, any questions?
Okay, so it's just 1599 Keniston, those two that are in the same complex?
Yeah, it's the same complex. That's same complex. It's a different civic address, but same complex. The entire unit called 1585 for the entire property, but individual some units has the different addresses because it has I think 7 or 8 buildings. I can't remember exact how many building count. Every building has a different civic address.
And these other ones are kind of in the same area.
It's very close. Yeah, 1765 is very close. Everything is very close. Not in the same roll number, realty roll number. Only 2 units are in the same realty roll number. The other ones are in different, but very close.
The party stuff there seems like to be an outlier at 1450. What would be the?
Yeah, party stuff is outlier and party stuff is the highest area. It's 8,354 and also it's a corner of it's a very corner hidden unit. It's kind of outlier. I should not include that rent comp in here actually if I consider about the location, quality and the condition. Party stuff is not the real type. Good.
Are these rental rates here in your comparisons? Are they reflective of what they are in other retail nodes in the city? Or is that? Yeah. Is that?
I think
what?
it's I think Agora food market is kind of different news and size wise. Town shoes, it's I think most comparable to the subject. The other ones has the plus and minus, I think.
I have no further questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Kent, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
I just have one question, Marina. On previous properties on this docket, you had made a recommendation to go to the reported rent, but not on this one?
It's a long story, Mr. Chair, because this particular business owner, even though we recommend the 1750 reported rents, they won't accept these ones, and we have a really problem with the unrealistic rental rates, market rents. They pay 0 rent, and again they want $10 per square feet for the regional shopping centers and everything. then it's a very long story, then even though we recommend those ones, it won't accept.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That we asking confirmation.
No, that's fine. Okay, that's the end of my questions, and Jared, you can make your presentation.
Wonderful. Excuse me. Thank you very much. Again, so once again, we're in the same retail node. If you look on my page 4, we have the you can see the different buildings. In this case, this is building number 26. And you can see, I should have put a key in here, but you can see that all those orange coated buildings, those are all vacant. That's as of winter 2020. So you can see, once again, we do have elevated chronic vacancy in this property. The net lease was $17.50 to be certain. So from, and Mr. Chair, yeah, make a good point that probably shouldn't exceed $17.50, but even with the $17.50, we believe that if a new tenant were coming into this property, given what we know about the state of retail, given what we know about the state of the vacancy, that is indeed elevated in this property, we don't think that they would necessarily be induced to pay a rent that high. They would likely pay something lower. That's our perspective. I have included the same comparables. Effectively, the size of the unit is very, very similar. And we've indeed included the subject in this table, just to be very transparent about some of these rents that support our ask today. Once again, the average $14.63, the median $15.25. So we've applied $15. So I suppose the question is, property, the value or the rent per square foot should likely fall somewhere between $15 and $17.50, but we do continue to believe that $17.50 is too high. Our workup is on page 6. Once again, the premise area is not in dispute, and the prescribed rates are not in dispute. So it's the same argument regarding the $15. We have to consider the valuation date of April 1, 2021, and look at the property on a site-specific basis. So ultimately, our rounded ARV, for the purpose of our exercise today, becomes $91,620, and we do respectfully submit that the value not exceed $91,620, and I thank you.
Thank you very much. And Marina, any questions?
Very few. This is actually irrelevant question, but I would ask because it came out in the presentation the many times. Vacancy you were talking about here is the historical vacancy, it's not the current vacancy.
It's the vacancy for 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Okay, and it is filling up very fairly in this location, right?
Well, I've looked to the reference date, so I've not looked beyond the reference date.
Okay, sure, yeah. And also rent comparables, we use the previous rent comparables we used for the other property. Exactly.
Yeah.
Comparable.
Well, yeah, exactly, because they're in the same retail node of the same development. So now, just to be clear, from my perspective, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to look to a different development or to use a grocery store or a hair salon. So I've tried to use tenants who would fall into that subcategory of fashion or clothing retailers, and I've localized it to the actual bank of CRUs where our property exists. So that's why we've done it. I think that's a very, very good indication of what one might expect to pay based on this very, very hyper localized view of the surrounding CRUs.
And one of the rent comparable in here, rent comparable 3.
Yeah.
It's the subject property.
That's correct. Yeah, it is indeed. As I mentioned in my presentation, but the interesting point here is that that's the rent they're paying, but we believe that it is high. And if we look at this property from a well, if somebody were to approach this owner and look to rent space at the reference date, we believe that the the larger picture of these rents that we've provided is a very good indicator, and I think that $15 is very fair. But yes, you are quite correct. At number 3, that is $17.50, and that's our subject.
Okay, that means rent comparable 2 and 3 within the same roll number, same property.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3, yes.
Yeah,
The
so that's
one-
between
the
$10 and
one-
$18, and we've applied $15, which is
Yes, $10 is the month-to-month rent. What do you know about their rent condition? They need to leave within a 1 month notice or something like that, because most of the month-to-month rent come with the different condition of the very temporary leases.
sure.
And do you know?
Well, so my understanding is, well, they had a legacy lease. They would be overholding on it, presumably. So, so there's not a new lease, but they're month to month. So, I'm not sure. Does that answer your question, or?
Yeah, that's, I want to know about, those kind of $10 rent release, most of the kind of condition with the, they need to leave the space within a 1 month notice. It's a very temporary type.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure about the exact conditions of the lease. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
sure. That's all my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bill, any questions?
Yes, just want to go back to the comparisons. Just to, if you can kind of briefly summarize the reason, the main reason why you think this property should be at $15 when currently they're paying $17.50.
Yeah,
and they seem to be okay with staying in that premises at that rate. So why do you think it's worth 15 only?
Sure. It's a great question. They are indeed paying $17.50. Our perspective, though, respectfully, is that if we consider the valuation date of April 1, 2021, and we look at the larger picture, we do see rents, certainly some that are higher and some that are lower. So we've tried to look to the to rents in the immediate development, and they would indicate that 1750 may be a touch on the high side. So we've been consistent with our application from the previous file and with this one, and I think based on the comparables that we've shown, something in that range of $10 to $18 makes sense. 1750 would be on the high side. So we have justified our position by looking to those 3 rents that are very good proxies for that unit, and applied $15. But you are quite correct; they are indeed paying $17.50.
Okay, thank you for that. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Kent.
All my questions have been answered, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have one question, Jared. Page 2 of your brief, you're stating the 2023 business assessment to be 91.6.
Yep. Yeah, we've got I noticed that as well. I have a typo. It's flipped, and I think actually the request is wrong. So the correct figures are on page 6, and there's just sort of a mad dash to get these in. But yeah, the correct workup is page 6.
So the requested assessment on your case is 91,620.
Correct.
But the actual roll value is not 104, it's 110.
It's 110,640. That's correct. Yeah.
Wanted to confirm that.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Notice that too. Thanks.
Okay, that concludes this property. The next one on the docket is 1660 Keniston, Unit E to C.
Thank you,
And-
Mr. Chair. File number 22-4242. Address E to C, 1660 Keniston Boulevard. Business role 399. Business name Bill MTA. Property we use the value of this unit, we use at $40.21 annual rental value per square foot rate to calculate annual rental value of $64,080 per per square feet. Today I'm making a recommendation to use $38.50 per square foot, which is a newer lease than what's in my reported lease information. Reported in lease information, we have $37, which is the older lease. I don't know what the differences came from. Today I'm making a recommendation using $38.50 to calculate the final annual rental value of $61,500. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And Jared, were you aware of the recommendation?
Yes, we spoke about this one and the next one, and yeah, we're in agreement, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
So you've accepted it.
We have indeed, yes.
Kent, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
And Bill, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
And I have no questions. So that moves us to the last property on the docket today, Unit 26, 2855 Pembina Highway. And Marina, you can proceed.
File number 22-4349. Address 26, Unit 26, 2855 Pembina Highway. Business role 1254. Business owner and business name Royal Bank of Canada. Original valuation, original ARV, we use $23.20 per square feet. Plus occupancy cost to calculate final annual value, rental value of $234,420. Today I'm making $20 per square feet, which is the newer lease, starting 2020 September 1st, for 5-year lease, 4-year 11 months lease. Using that reported net rents of $20, total annual rental value will be $205,260. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Jared, were you aware of the recommendation?
We're aware and we agree with it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Bill, any questions?
No, I do not have any questions, thank you.
And Kent?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Very much. We have heard all of the items scheduled this morning, and this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
As usual.
Have a nice day.
You too. Enjoy.